This week's Bible text is taken from the book of Lamentations. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord, for no one is cast off by the Lord forever. Though he brings grief, he will show compassion. So great is his unfailing love. Every morning anew. Every morning the alarm clock rings. Every morning you get up with energy or with inner resistance, still sleepy or awake at once. And then you go the same way as every day, to the bathroom or to the kitchen. Every morning the same routine, the way it has become customary, the way every day begins. Because what a stress it would be to have to decide everything in you with a head that is still half asleep. Every morning anew. To develop a routine, research has shown that a person needs about 66 days. This is just as true for daily habits as it is for major changes in life. In other words, if you still follow your New Year's resolutions in March, you have a pretty good chance of sticking to them in the long run. But anyone who compromises as early as mid-January will probably soon be frustrated. It takes time and repetition until something has settled in and becomes a habit. You decide on something and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And at some point it becomes so ingrained in you that when you don't do it, you miss it. However, the routines and habits also apply the other way around. Once you get into the habit of doing something, it is very difficult to get rid of it. You need a clear desire to change something and a lot of patience and at least 66 days of consistency. It's an ongoing task. What you do, you have to do it completely. Every morning, God shows mercy anew. That also seems to be an ongoing task. When I look at the world, I can see why. Because there is always something wrong. Because people break things, or other people, or something that was there between people, or the environment, or the climate. We are pretty good at not being good. Sometimes I wonder that God is still patient. Anyway, I could understand if he needed a new start every day. The Lamentations is a book of the Bible that is rarely read. The name says it all. In 586 BC, the city of Jerusalem was destroyed. And not only Jerusalem, but also the temple. That was a real crisis. For the temple was not just any building, but a visible sign carved out of stone of certainty. God, who is everywhere, has chosen a special place here. Here we can meet God. That the temple and the whole city were destroyed was a great shock. The people asked, God, why did you allow this destruction? How can we meet you now? What keeps our faith now? And one guy sits down and writes 5 poems, 5 lamentations. In some editions of the Bible, you can see how they are structured. They follow the Hebrew alphabet. So at least you can give life some kind of structure and order. Lamenting as the Bible does, and it does it often and loudly, is something different from whining. Those who whine only revolve around themselves and their misery, but those who lament to God still reckon with him and clings to God's faithfulness, speaks, whispers, cries out to God who is faithful, and at the same time against God who is so incomprehensible and strange. He who laments brings what is difficult, even what is difficult with God, before God. There are moments when there is nothing more than that. but also nothing less. I know such moments, and maybe you do too. They are part of life. Every morning something becomes new. Every morning you face reality anew. That too is an order and a structure of life. That you always have to start again, and that you can start again. Every day brings something new, and every day God's goodness is new, because that is its nature, to become new, allowing things to come into being. Ways emerge where you have seen none, and gratitude in the midst of the grey of everyday life, and courage in the midst of despondency, and praise in the midst of lamentation. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Such praise in the midst of lamentation. Despondent praise, for what it speaks out is not yet there, but a praise that is nourished by the intuition that this story is far from over. A glimpse of God's faithfulness. New strength grows from such praise. Strength at least for the next steps, for one day, 1 hour, one step. That's all you need. You don't have such strength in store, but you will get it. It is not there, but it will be. It is part of God's nature to have mercy again and again, every morning anew, because every day needs its new beginning for us, with us. God is consistently inconsistent. He does not stop at the evening, but is a God of becoming new. Like back then when at some point the temple was rebuilt, as with Jesus, whom He did not leave in death, and as with us. Once, then when we are with Him completely, and now again and again. Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Amen.